They didn't have genetic. Um, they were not very. They used racial classification as the best method to classify people. So if they unless they visibly saw you as one of your ancestors was a one of your parents or grandparents was of a certain race, then was black or something, then you would be a quarter, then you would be a quadroon or something like that. My opinion of race is that it is a biological fact. It is a product of human evolution. But again, it's not a question of denying the existence of races. It's respecting the differences in people. Everybody has good in them, and it is wrong to say that one population group or race or population group is superior to another, or you should have any hatred. There's good and bad in all people, and I just wanted to let you know I was born in the United States, but my parents are from Uruguay. My ancestry is from Spain, from Galicia and Basque ancestry specifically. I might be from somewhere else. Um, I classify myself as Caucasoid or Caucasian. A lot of people say I'm not, but people's interpretation of race, uh, your place in society is based on how people interpret race, and some people are not going to be, like I said before, some people will classify based on their prejudice, their preference, or their understanding as it makes possible, their understanding what race is, and they may say, the other problem is that there are a lot of another racial misconstruction. Another racial misconception is that certain Europeans are not true Europeans, like a lot of Nordic Europeans, Nordicists. They say that we are the true Europeans. When in reality, the first Europeans that evolved in Europe were Southern Europeans. Labrana one is proof of that. Um, Nordic. There are four major sub-European sub-races, many phenotypes within that, but you have Atlantic Mediterranean, you have Central European, Eastern European, and Nordic European. And Nordic European was the last racial sub-race to evolve in Europe. They um, they did not evolve until between um, 6,000 years and 4,000 years. Between 6,000 BC and 4,000 BC. That's 8,000 years ago and 6,000 years ago. Between 8,000 years ago and 4,000 years ago. That's about the time, if it's to the latter, that's when the Bible is written. So that is a very recent evolution, which proves that who was living in Europe before Nordics evolved in Europe were Southern European peoples. And they are the original Europeans, and they were basically look like me, basically tan skin, brown eyes, and brown hair, like Lebrana one. Uh, they are the true Europeans. He had blue eyes, but the members of his tribe were probably, I'm speculating, hasn't been proving it, but when they test the other skull, the other skeleton that probably lived with him, and if they find another skeleton, they probably will, the evidence will show that the majority of them had brown eyes. It was not a dominant color, eye color, but it began to appear as a necessity. So remember, he might have had blue eyes, but he would have been in the minority. The majority were brown-eyed. And as they evolved as the Ice Age began to come to an end around 8,000 BC to about 7,000, maybe 5,000 BC, 7,000 years ago, the ice began to melt, and these Proto-Europeans or Cro-Magnon began to make their way into Central Europe and then Northern Europe. And you see, they began to evolve lighter skin tone, blonde hair in order to repel the light, um, in order to also absorb vitamin D. Um, in order to repel light from the sun so they don't get sunburn. But they wanted to get that vitamin D, and also they became lactose intolerant in order to find it in their foods, digest milk, and maybe eat plants that have vitamin D. Um, that's it for that's. You can take the information for what it's worth. I am not an expert in this field. I'm in no way an expert. Again, I want to reiterate, rephrase. I want to re-emphasize what I'm saying, that there are no superior races. I am in no way endorsing the racial supremacy of any population group or the prejudice of any population group, including my own. Uh, I am not pure myself. I'm sure I have North African or other population groups. Um, you know, and there are no pure races, and the ones who think that they are, they will be very shocked. A lot of people have taken these DNA tests, but again, only 10%. So if a person's only 90% of a population group, their admixture might be 10%. They may never inherit those characteristics, and it wouldn't matter because only 10% of you, in terms of your racial characteristics and ancestry, define the way you look, make you look the way you are, define your racial characteristics. But the other 23, the other 90% are usually non-racial characteristics like your heart, your lungs, and things that have nothing to do with race. So they really should be only testing those 10% that you inherited. But I'm sure they'll figure that out. Again, you can take the information for what it's worth. Until next time, the next video lecture, I want to wish all my YouTube members good night. May God bless you all.